See, there you go. Thanks, Nathaniel.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday, January 25th Solar Eclipse QSO Party Zoom Telecon and many other subjects, as we've heard. Today, we'll do our usual thing with our Ed's report. I'm going to put up, when he's done, I'll put up on the screen our presentation schedule because it's pretty impressive how many we've got scheduled. And then I'll put up the agenda and stuff. But Ed, if you want to go first, you can take it away.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the pregame show, I'll be really quick because I mean, a lot of stuff is just sort of in progress and we've talked about it in the past, I guess, just regarding presentations, workshops / webinars, that type of thing. I mean, my count, I think, was 58, Gary, but you'll let me know when we put it up. So far that we've done or have scheduled. The pieces for this week, I think, are pretty interesting because we purposely went after contest clubs and we booked Yankee Clipper. And then I think it was today we got Potomac Valley. Okay. So we need, we've got at least the 3 big East Coast clubs because Nathaniel did Frankfurt, 2 weeks ago or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm not certain. I got to go back to my contest list for Midwest clubs. So, and we'll see if we can nail a couple of them down as well, too. So the only item that I think is new to this, and we have to kick this around between now and the next week or so, is that, as we get closer to Eclipse Day, I'm thinking about an idea that we sort of do a webinar as an open meeting, okay, that we just invite hams, regardless of whether you're in a club, to do it just, and just sort of book Zoom for maybe 1 or 2 nights. And say, if you're interested in learning about this, you don't have to belong to a club. You can just sign up to this general webinar, and and hopefully we can get I don't know how much our Zoom license is.
This one's good for 300.
Yeah, 300. I mean, boy, if we can get 300, I'd be really happy. So why don't we talk about that offline? Okay,
Yeah.
and we can talk to obviously like the lead.
And we'll shortly have access to one that's good for up to 1,000, I think. So.
All right, and then from there we'll be booking Giant Stadium for the in-person. So that'd be perfect. All right, so let's hold that thought, okay? And and I'll sort of put an outline together, and we'll take a look at some days because I think it just might be a good chance at the end, and it also acts as a model, maybe coming out of the eclipse that we can use the same type of format to talk about results to a general audience as well too. So,
hey Ed.
Yeah,
you can add one more in. I was just asked yesterday to do a presentation to the Davis County Club, so I'll be doing that on February 10th.
Okay, yeah, send me a note and I'll add it to the list, and then because I think I'm keeping the master right now, so just date and everything else, so that'll be great, and contact information. So anyway, so that's the piece on webinars. On podcast this week.
Just a moment.
Oh, sure. Sorry, David. Yep.
Clubs that will present the festival to. A presentation too.
Yes.
You can put Twin State Radio Club on the list.
Okay, great.
Here in New Hampshire.
Great. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll be doing that this weekend.
Perfect. Thank you. So, so in terms of looking at podcasts, Gary did was the Amateur Radio Newsline, right? Okay. Yeah, and then this week we've got scheduled, or we put on the calendar the ICQ podcast in the UK, which is the biggest English language podcast in Europe. So I think that's around March 12th. I don't have my paperwork in front of me, but we'll do it a little bit ahead of time. Martin Butler is the contact there, and KB6NU is also a panelist, Nathaniel. Okay, and he's lent his support and gave us some tips in terms of working with them and all that too. So, and he said he'll do some promotion for us, as well, just regarding HamSci in general. So you saw his note, okay, in terms of looking at something that he's doing in Cleveland, or if you haven't, I think I forwarded that on. So, the other one that came up is a suggestion last night. Has anybody ever heard of a podcast called Ham Radio Concepts? No,
Not me.
Greg, tell me what you know about them.
Not a lot, but it's up on QRZ. I see it up there all the time.
Okay. The West Palm Beach guys, I did their show yesterday, and they suggested it to me at the end of the presentation because they thought that A, it was very interesting. Of course it is. B, they thought that we had a younger audience than most ham radio podcasts that would be interesting, for them. And that they were as much technical as they were scientific as background. Just, I mean, does that make sense, Greg? I mean, I guess, if you've heard it or know about it. I mean,
I've
to me,
only seen a few episodes, but it's out there. It's been out there for a few years.
okay,
And
that's good. So it's got some legs to it. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Apparently the guy is down here. I did not know in Florida. I have no idea about him, but I will track it down. So, I mean, if we can get, just obviously if we can book a date and we can follow. So that'll give us what, Nathaniel, I think 4 or 5, right? In terms of podcasts, and that's, really with some time to go on that. So that'll be good. So, also, I mean, just very quickly from here is just in terms of publications, this isn't really much, it hasn't changed much from last week, is that, we're basically in every book between now and the Eclipse, thanks to Ron and Gary and everybody who's, put together, copy for us, Mackenzie, of course, with QST and on the air. Obviously, we're waiting just, for, any final copy revisions and changes in schedules. So, but, we're in every book, between now and April that we need to be in. So I think that's a good thing. Releases, I don't think we haven't done anything in the last week, Mackenzie. I'm looking at you, Mackenzie. I think we haven't posted a release. Okay, but I think we're good. And obviously, Mackenzie's, sort of predetermining what I'm going to be looking to do. And that's sort of getting reminders up, about the QSO party and everything else. Obviously, as we get closer, we're going to be using all the bulletins, whether it's ARL or RAC or anybody else, just as sort of a reminder to get people to participate. So, that's basically where we are, Gary, Nathaniel, and everybody. So regarding just, sort of where we are, we've kind of, we've got a lot done, and obviously there's a lot more to go. So anyway, any questions that anybody has? Thank you all, just in terms of your support, because it's been great.
I think the important thing to mention is that, as you said, we've got a lot of articles in the works, but the nice thing, I think they've all been submitted. I know Mackenzie's went off, Ron's taking care of Spectrum Monitor, we've got CQ, on and on. So, I mean, the fact that we're done, we beat the deadlines and that kind of stuff, and it's tremendous. I mean, so you wait till the last minute, and you always run risk of getting bumped. And if we get bumped too late, we miss the Eclipse. So everyone who's contributed, congratulations, you've done a nice job.
To be in is obviously a good thing. And if we haven't heard back from Becky, that's good news. That's even better news as we get a little closer from QST and on the air. So, because those
Go ahead. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, good. Yes, that's fantastic. And I got an email from a science writer at NASA Goddard yesterday, asking questions about what we're doing. And he says that he's going to write an article about NASA citizen science investigations for the Eclipse. So I'll respond back to him, and then hopefully we'll be included in that other NASA release as well.
Perfect. So no, all good at this point. So fingers crossed. Mary Lou, point or question or?
So I have something to report. One of the things that I'm working on is to try to get joint outreach events between ham radio clubs and astronomy clubs in the same town. So I've started looking up contact information and of clubs that are in the Eclipse path or very near to the Eclipse path. And so far I've only typed up one state. So
yeah, I just saw your header.
That's the only one. I said, but I will finish. I will type up the rest of the states too. So I typed up Texas, and I found 10 astronomy clubs in Texas within the Eclipse path or very close to it. And so I have their contact information, and all of them have really interesting websites. They all have interesting little logos that they have on all their stuff. These people have lots of outreach. They talk about the dark skies, especially of West Texas, and how beautiful it is there, and we should all come. At any rate, so I have contact information. I will type the rest of the states.
Great, thank you. So,
and then Ed and I have to work on some sort of little writing. What are we going to send to these people, and what do we want them to do?
Yeah, exactly. Yep, and the network with local clubs, which will sort of be a sword against it. So,
right. So we'll do that later.
Good.
That's it.
So, thank you. Yep.
Well, good. It's nice to have a lot of people involved, especially you, David, would be willing to give some talks. Ron, I know you've done some talks and stuff too. So the more people we've got out there, and people like to hear from others that they're familiar with. So it goes a long way to have you guys talking to the groups in your area.
Gary, did you say earlier that you had some slide decks?
Yes. yes, there is kind of a standardized presentation that we've been using, so I can send you a link to that so when we're done, David.
Yeah, I thought you had, but I don't think I was on my computer when you
Then send it to me too.
presented it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's tough. I get that standardized presentation done and I get some feedback from Ed and from Gary in Kentucky and this and that. And then Nathaniel comes along, does another one, and it's even better. So it's like, I want to upgrade mine to what he's done. And it's a moving target, but that's okay. We're
Yeah,
always
well, we
improving.
can mix and match. I got Nathaniel's, but I thought you had said you'd set some up too.
Yeah, the slides, Nathaniel, you showed in Garrett's Zoom call last Tuesday or whatever date that was. Those are fantastic, some of them. So I think I'm going to move those into my Orlando talk, I think so.
Yeah, I think
All right.
I came up with those for both AGU and then for Ham Radio University.
No, they're great. They're great. Okay, so that was actually my next thing on the list was a standardized presentation. So I'll send you that, David. It will be good. The presenters, we've got pretty good shape. Just to show you what we've got, because that's got quite a list of here. Let's see here. Okay, hopefully you're seeing a spreadsheet of for 2024 here with clubs and speakers. So you can see we've got pretty good coverage in the Northeast, West Palm. There's New Jersey again. Ed, you've done a couple other talks. I'm not sure where these guys are at.
Hold
So
on.
we've got a few to fill in too. So
But Scona, was it Scona? I think they're in Washington State.
okay,
Yeah.
West Coast.
Yeah.
And of course that's in Kentucky, Florida. So anyhow, so we're picking them up as we go along.
You can pop mine in there this weekend, which is what, the 27th,
Yeah.
127.
Yeah, Ed's got the original list, so we'll let him do that.
Okay.
And I got a
Yeah,
copy.
yeah. If you just send me the details and I'll just strip it in. So
Yep. I just
The other thing, there's always the it's easy to remember email for Ed is pressrelations@hamside.org too. So you don't have to worry about names or calls. Pressrelations@hamside.org. Okay.
And just an FYI, on line 57, the Hazel Park Amateur Radio Club is north of Detroit in Michigan. It's in the city of Hazel Park, state of Michigan, which is due north of the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
You need another column with states on it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
club call sign
Yeah.
is Whiskey 8 Hotel Papa is the club call.
yeah, I think it's to the right. This is my notepad more than anything else, guys. So
Oh, there it is. Yep.
yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So
okay.
I put mine in the chat, Ed.
Okay, good.
I see it, David. Yeah.
Okay, anything else on the speakers and that sort of stuff?
I think
All
I
right,
brought
good.
this up, but I think I brought this up before, Gary, and it's post Eclipse, but at the Rocky Mountain ARRL convention in July, since I'm the unwilling chairperson over all of the program, the presentations, I am going to make sure that there will be information on HamSci and the Eclipse and other things going forward. That's July, I think 12th and 13th or something like that. So I know it's not pre-Eclipse, but still I intend to either do it myself or if other members come. I know Bill's coming and maybe do some joint stuff. So just an FYI.
No, that's great because yeah, HamSci carries on. We'll be soldiering on long after the eclipse. There's no question about that. So having that publicity and if we've got observations and things to discuss, perfect time to do it, Ron.
And
Okay. Next thing I want to sure.
Ed,
go
I
ahead,
just
Nathaniel.
updated the date. I had that wrong. I was a week early.
and
Yeah, I got
I
it.
can
Yeah.
Salisa told me that the banner, the standing banner that you wanted is being printed and should be ready Monday.
Oh, awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. So that'll work out. Yeah, you'll get that just before you take off, I think, so.
Yeah.
Will that be available for other conventions, or were you just gonna focus on that one?
We can, if you have another convention you want to go to, we could probably get it over to you.
Let me see how much I'm gonna be able to do, but it might be nice to throw it up. And I'm still putting it together, but if we're doing a pretty major presentation or doing a lot of other stuff, then it might be nice. I don't want to waste money or time, but I'll look at it and get back to you offline about it.
Yeah, let me know. I don't know how much it costs yet, so we will find that information out on Monday. And then depending on how much it costs, maybe it makes sense to get a second one and send it around. Maybe it makes sense to just take the one and shuffle it to all different places. I'm hoping that when it's not being used for a convention, we put it outside, put it somewhere here in the hallway here at Scranton. And then we bring one to the Hampside workshop. So.
Well, and Nathaniel, just thinking out loud here, just if you haven't printed it yet, just double check that it's generic, that there's nothing that refers to a specific date or like amcation or something like that.
Well, this
So it has
particular-
I think it does refer to a specific date. I think that specific date's April 8th, 20.
Oh, well, that was for the Eclipse. Yes, I was just thinking about a generic banner. Oh, yes, yeah, right. Thank. So
Yeah, but I didn't really review it. I know, I think Gary took care of it. So.
okay.
Yeah, in fact, I'll put it up on the screen. If I can move it over to the right drive here off my other computer, I will put it up on the screen so you can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, the other thing, Ron, is that, I mean, if we can, I mean, this, just when you look to save it, I mean, you could obviously move it to a printer that's locally used, so we're not shipping banners around the place, that type of thing. So.
Right, got it.
Yeah. We just
Let me
need to
go
save
full
it in a
screen
format
here
that's
real quick.
reproducible. So.
Let me share this thing. Okay, should be seeing an Eclipse banner hopefully on my screen.
Mhm.
So this is specifically for the total eclipse. NASA put this together with the eclipse path, how to view it, the heliophysics big year, how to view it safely. And there's a blank spot in the middle for us to put our logos and a couple of QR codes for the SEQP and our whatnot. I got the Hampsite partners in there. I'm learning. And then more stuff about the total eclipse is about. So this thing is about 6.5 feet tall, but this one was specifically for the eclipse. So we'll use it in Orlando, we'll use it at Scranton, we'll use it at the workshop, and again in March. So
That looks great.
yeah, so
Save it in the archives when we're done.
yeah, the
Make sure-
NASA heat team does a nice job with that stuff. So
Yeah, make sure it doesn't get thrown out when we're all done with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might order, depending on how much it costs, I might order a couple more for the university here and just have them up in the hallways.
Outside the president's office.
That's right.
so speaking of
Yes, Mary Lou's on very good terms with the president.
always a good place to be. Speaking of expenses, let me share my screen again. So this is the flyer that I put together for the event, the NASA Citizen Science event and stuff. So it's a 2-pager, talks a little about what Hampsite is all about, operating, building, programming, blah, blah, blah. Some of our projects are at a very high level, how to join us, upcoming events, the grape, and so on and so forth. So Ed, you had an idea to hand these things out in Orlando, to have a stack of these things available in addition to our business cards, right? So the trick for those things, right? If we got to print those things, it's about $100 for what, 250 black and white copies, I think.
Mhm.
Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Yeah, if they're in color, yeah, it's expensive. So.
Color is really expensive. It's over 300 in color.
Yeah.
Black and white's about 100.
Yeah.
So is that something we want to invest in for Orlando? If that's the case, I'll print them and get them shipped to you. But
And I can cover that cost.
Okay,
There you go. All right.
if
And
you're okay
you
with
can
that,
ask-
well,
if you're gonna have them printed, you can get a price quote from Salisa and have her ship it too. Because if you're because it might cost less if we have if we print it here at Scranton.
Yeah, it would. That would. So
okay,
So
I will,
just
send that
check
to her
with
tonight then.
Salisa.
I'll
Yeah.
send that to tonight and then she can figure it out tomorrow, so tomorrow's Friday,
That
right?
sounds
Yeah,
great.
okay. All right, thanks. There you go, Ed. We got our collateral, so.
thank you.
So good. So I'm gonna be shipping you at least, I think, a couple of boxes tomorrow, probably, Ed, with the stuff for the booth, the cards, the posters, the binder clips to hang them up, a small roll of Gorilla Tape, all the stuff we should need to tack the booth on when we get there in a couple weeks. So
Yeah, I'm just,
Uh,
I'll have to keep watching for it because we've only got one car down here, so I'm renting a car for the couple days. I don't want to rent a truck.
oh no, it won't be that big. It'll
We've
be
got a lot of boxes.
Hey, Gary.
yeah.
Hey, just an idea, to sweeten the deal is whenever I buy any of my music stuff from a company called Sweetwater, it's pretty much the biggest online music distributor. Whenever I buy anything from them, they always have this little plastic bag with some candy in it shipped in the box. So I just thought that might just be something for Ed to sweeten the deal there, Gary.
Yeah. Well, we've got to be careful too with what we can justify for the grants and stuff, because we're not even a nonprofit. So we also got to watch our P's and Q's there too. So, but that's an interesting idea, Ron.
What was the idea?
Oh, I was just joking, Nathaniel. I'm just saying that whenever I buy any musical instruments or anything from Sweetwater, it's like the biggest place to buy music. They always put this little plastic bag with about 6 or 7 pieces of candy in there saying, thank you so much for your business.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just saying that if Gary's going to start shipping stuff out all over, he can just start putting in some Tootsie Rolls or Jawbreakers or something with a little note that says, thank you from Hamside. I was just
That's
joking,
right.
guys. Just
Yeah.
joking.
That's cute.
Yeah, but I'm big into health food, Ron. I'd probably send them granola bars or something they didn't want. So
Yeah.
Knowing
Oranges
Ed,
are big down here, so
knowing Ed, he may just take anything. So
yeah.
Well, maybe more appropriate would be what you used to get from Radio Shack, a grab bag.
Yeah,
oh,
that's a
Grab
good
bag
memory,
of parts.
Dave. That's a good memory.
all right. On to the next item. I did contact the development team for N1MM just to update the date and a couple of other things for the contest. Ward Silver did a couple of quick tests for me and verified what I need to ask them to change. So that has been sent off to them. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be working with WA7BNM to make sure to open up, get the right window in there for the April SEQP submissions and stuff. But that's a couple of weeks off. Bruce usually works about 4 weeks ahead, so I'm going to take some time on that. On the workshop in March here in Cleveland, are any questions or any comments on that? I haven't heard too much from the team. I'm not sure that we'll take Dan up on his offer, Ed, to host a class, just because
Okay.
Case licenses a lot of students already
Yeah.
as part of their curriculum, believe it or not. So that may be kind of redundant to bring somebody in to teach a technation class.
Okay.
So we're
No, that was
looking
his
into
ask.
that.
Not, yeah.
Yeah,
As you saw, so yeah.
So yeah, I did get
Yeah.
back to him. I said, well, that may or may not work. So But,
I can say that Phil Karn is going to be our third invited speaker. So he's going to be talking about KA9Q radio, and that I just put that information on the website today. So there's now a nice photograph of Phil and a little bio about him. So that's up there along with Kate Zoddy and Scott McIntosh's information. And then I just sent out the information about, I sent out an advertisement call for abstracts to the GEMS, CDAR, and AGU space physics and astronomy sections. So I basically advertising to all the professional space scientists as well today. So
fantastic. Is it, now that we've got our three invited, our keynote speaker and our two invited speakers in there, is it worth a post on social media to let people know about that stuff, I suppose?
Yeah,
Yep.
that sounds great.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the website's looking pretty good right now.
As is the social.
Yeah, it's all coming together pretty well. I know it's not of a necessary direct interest to everybody in this group and stuff, but the grape meetings on Thursday mornings, things are coming along with the grape too. So far as getting that hardware and software rolled out. We're not quite there yet. I'm going down to Case tomorrow to help John Gibbons, the developer, do some programming of the 35 units. And we updated today. I updated the questionnaire for people on the grape website to also include a question about the magnetometer, see if there's some interest in that too. So that's all part of what we do. So it's stuff we need to advertise and get out there. So that's happening too. All right. All right, good. Any open discussion or
No,
questions?
well, it just triggers a question. I guess maybe Nathaniel have the answer on this. Does Case do the marketing on this plus us, or is it primarily ours to do it? You know,
What do you
in terms
mean,
of building
Nathaniel?
attendance for the workshop.
It's primarily us.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a combination. So it's myself, it's Case Western,
Yeah.
it's Gary,
Yeah.
it's whoever wants to help get the word out.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about whether Case would have any interest in helping us on that, but this is primarily ours, so.
You mean the Hamside workshop?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely are interested. They're hosting, so they're absolutely interested in
Okay.
helping to advertise. You
Okay.
can see on the website there, we have you can see the local organizing committee and the program committee
Yeah.
names. So
Yeah.
these are all the Case people right there.
Okay.
I think what they've been doing, a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, organizing the room, organizing the after events, organizing the dinner, getting the lanyards and all that kind of mumbo jumbo that goes into organizing the conference. Nathaniel Vishner and a couple of them have been working pretty hard and all that sort of stuff. So I know I've talked to them recently. So
yeah, so right now we're open for abstracts. So anyone who wants to give a presentation, we need them to submit an abstract to that website.
and remember too, if you, I mean, last year was the second one that I attended. The nice thing about the workshop is there's such a tremendous variety of subjects. I mean, you've got everyone from the Joe Hubas talking about Sammy 3 or whatnot. And you've got a lot of people in the community like Ron giving his nice presentation last year about DXing and some of the history and stuff of ham radio. So if it's involved with amateur radio and some bit of science, I'm sure it'll fit in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But if not in a talk or a presentation or in the poster sessions too. So it's there's a lot of room. Okay, any other discussion? If not, we'll think about closing early this week, which would be great. Fine too, so. Nothing heard, that's good. All right, everyone, thanks for your participation. Thanks for all the work outside the meeting. I mean, it's important that we all attend, let each other know what we're doing, but a lot of the work happens between Thursdays, obviously. So there's a lot of bad thing going on. It's appreciated, so. That's it. We'll say 73 for the
All
week.
good.
We got a meeting next Thursday and then we'll be off for a week, but we'll see y'all next Thursday, we hope.
Okay.
7-3.
73.
Be well.
73.
Take care. 73s.
Thank you.